Okay, I'm sorry, I had to answer that call because I'm having some blinds put in, and that was the installer, and he wanted to talk to me. So I apologize for the interruption. And so we're back to our carving now. And okay. Now I hope I got straight what I was trying to talk to about a while ago, is the fact that if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you're going to have to, a lot of times you're going to have to take a lot of ribbing, or not ribbing necessarily, but you know, some negative comments and stuff, and you're just going to have to ignore them. That's all there is to it. And I hope that the young man that stopped it for a while does come back. He's a good teacher, and he's got a zeal and a heart for carving. Anyway, that's we go through. Okay, now as you can see, the little figure that I do, I make the head real big. Of course, that's so we can emphasize the head more than anything in the world. Now what we want to do is we want to come on both sides and bring on both sides that down to kind of a, not necessarily a point, but close to it. We take our knife, we do this, take our knife, and we just sort of do this in a way, sort of swing it like that. See what I'm saying? Just sort of like that. Just sort of like that, in other words. Then we get this kind of rounded off right here. So let's just, there we go. Where this is kind of the mouth area in here. Now what we want to do, we want to come just above the mouth area in here, and we want to draw our nose, and it sort of goes like this. It comes up on both sides like that and goes out here like this, sort of like a, comes out here like that, and then comes back here like this. The eyes do. Comes up here like that. See? Okay. Now, what we want to do is take our knife. We want to cut that. And we want to cut up and begin to cut a little bit around the eye, okay? We're going to take that off in there. And cut it again. Be careful around this area. Well, I got me a little place there. Don't want to cut. Okay, there we go. We come over here. We come around with the eye just like this. Remove that. All right. And then we come up around the top, come around on the eye, and just like that. Okay, where it meets. Do the same thing here. As we come up and meet it right here. See that? Cut that out. I got a little area in there that the wood doesn't want to cut. Okay, we'll make it cut, won't we? Yeah, it's been a lot of years that I've had to deal with videos, and it's been a very rewarding time. And it's also been a now on the eyes, what we want to do is we want to cut in on the inside of the eye like this. Okay? So we'll bring the nose out. Just like that. Okay? Do the same here. We want to bring in around the eye like that, around like this. We want to cut on the inside. This wood is really getting a little wormy right in here. I don't know what it is. All right, there we go. See that? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to make a lid, a lid on both sides of it. Yeah, it's if you're going to do videos, you need to have a little thick skin. You don't want to do them and then expect people, you know, not to say. Some people say, you know, cruel things. We just, and if or say, you know, things that you don't want to hear. All right, now let me get my pencil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come around the eye and we're going to draw just a little line right outside the eye and do the same thing. We're going to come around just like this. Okay? And from over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make an outer eyelid, just like that. Okay? And we cut around it. Be careful with your knife. You can do this also with a V-tool. If you want to. We're going to use the knife. And you cut from the outside of the lip, not the lip, the lid. You cut from the outside of the lid. And you want to be careful because it's very thin. See how I make a cut like that and then come back and make that other cut? That's what you do. Just like that. See how that is? We want to do the same thing over here. We want to come around the eyelid just like this. And we come around and down. I'm going to come from this part. Yeah, it's it's really, and you know, that's, I hate to say it, but if you do, you think that if you're doing carving videos, you would not get negative things, you know, because you're doing that. But Doug Linker's talked about that. Doug's talked about where people have, you know, he thought he made a real good video or something like that, and they come back and say, that's the worst video I've ever seen and stuff like that. And you just sort of have to laugh it off. Like the guy with the bandsaw, you know. I mean, he just ripped into me. And, you know, that I didn't know what I was doing with that bandsaw and everything like that. And I just reminded him, well, I've been doing it since I was 11 and I haven't cut myself. So I guess I'm doing something right. And you just sort of let it go. And if you can't let it go, then it's going to be hard on you. And like I said, you think doing carving videos you wouldn't get any negative responses. But, you know, you get it from people who, I've had people tell me that, you know, your videos are sorry because they're, you know, they're not edited, they're not done like this, they're not done like that. And I just tell them, well, that's the way it's going to be. So I've had carvers even tell me that. And there we go. See the little eyelid and stuff? But just learn to ignore that stuff and go on. If I would have listened to, at first when I was doing videos, if I would have listened to people, you know, terrible comments about this and that, I would have never done anymore. I would have never done anymore because, and I mean, I had good comments too, don't get me wrong, not all of them were negative, but a lot of them were. And a lot of it was about my video production and how, you know, I remember I did one video where I explained how to, step by step, how to carve, look at that, see? How to carve a, you know, a beginner's first figure. And I mean, everybody keeps telling you, you need to slow down, you need to show us how to do this stuff. And I slow down and show just about every step. And next thing I know, these guys get on there and they just, you know, you're as boring as can be, you're too slow, And I just, you know, I ignored them. Because that's what happens. That's what happens when you do videos. You're going to have these trolls, as they call them, and they're going to come in there, and they might not even be carvers. Like I said, there's one guy that really got belligerent with me because I was using the paring cut like this because I was carving towards my finger, and he was going, "You don't ever do that kind of stuff," you know. So I think it's kind of funny. I'm sorry, but let's single that nose a little bit. But you're going to face that. So you might as well get ready for it. And if you can't, then don't make videos. I was just referring to the fact that this young man named Nate, who is doing his videos, really is taking some heavy criticism. But he just goes on. And I like that. He goes on. He's, like I said, what I understand is he got kicked by a horse when he was young and had some brain damage, and that's terrible. That's horrible to even think. Poor man just had to go through this, but he's just very simple and doing a very good job. I know his carvings are not the best, I admit that, but he just goes on and he's doing the best he can.